Hello, everyone. This is Adolfo from the Essential Films podcast. What you're about to hear is a bonus episode of about 40 minutes of audio that we did while recording the Superman episode, which should be up by the time you're listening to this. This is just kind of a free-flowing conversation. It's raw, as in I didn't really produce it. It's just kind of getting uploaded as is. And I just thought it would be better for an individual episode that didn't distract from the main topic of the Superman episode. So please enjoy.
But speaking of things that keep us busy, and speaking of things like the Alamo Drafthouse, and you've had some adventures there recently. What have you been watching? And I know you've got some plans to go see something else too.
Oh, dude. Okay, I have to go back because we haven't done a show in like 2 months, like this show. So I need to go back to like my purchase history and see where the hell I've been with this place. My favorite place, Alamo Drafthouse. I think the last one we talked about was maybe the Gremlins. Was it Gremlins? No, you know what it was? I think I had no. It was right before I think I went to see Seven.
Okay.
I think that was the one because when we did the last episode, I said I think in a couple weeks I'm going back to see the Seven the dinner. I think that was the last thing. Gotcha. So yeah. So did I send you the menu for that?
Maybe.
All right,
I don't remember.
Let me pull it up because I know I sent it to D, so I have it saved in the chat log. But yeah. So okay. So for those who don't know, last episode I mentioned that I was going to see Seven at Alamo Drafthouse, and it was a special screening where they were doing a special dinner related to Seven. So they had a few drinks. They had a drink menu because it was a mystery dinner. So you did not know what the food was that you were going to eat during the screening. It was they kept it a secret from you, but they did give you some drink options. So they had a couple of some good ones. I'm kind of an IPA guy compared to I'm a beer person. I'm more beer than liquor. So I've kind of grown fond of IPAs lately. So the one I had was called the Bell's Two Hearted, which is a Michigan IPA, and it was pretty good. But you have the what's it called? So you have the movie, and the idea of the whole dinner is that it's 7 courses for the 7 deadly sins, and I have I think I have the list here in front of me. No, I don't. That's the drink list. Hold on. I think I sent it to maybe Draven. Hold on. It's probably here somewhere. Yes, I sent it to Draven. So you don't know what's in the box. Essentially, that's the idea. So they bring you each course in a box that has the name of the sin on it. What's in the box? So the first course was gluttony, and it was foie gras, which was blueberry jam, duck fat, crispy chicken skin. Second course was greed, which was beef carpaccio. I mean, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but
I think it's carpaccio.
There you go, which is like noodle, like it's a kind of pasta. Fried oyster, coleslaw, truffle, and beet juice. The third course was sloth, which was a slow cooked beef, which was beer braised short ribs with mashed potatoes, whole carrots and turnips, and pecan gremolata, which I don't know what that is, but it was pretty good. The fourth was lust, which was a pasta puttanesca. I think I'm saying that correctly. Anchovy, olives, capers, crispy garlic. The fifth course was pride, which was the Adam's apple and eel, which was smoked eel, bacon, roasted apple, and cider vinaigrette. Sixth course was envy, which was the monkfish and lobster, which was broccoli, green onions, green garlic vinaigrette, and watercress. And finally, the last course was the dessert, which was wrath, and it was spiced chocolate cake, which had sereno strawberry sauce and cinnamon whipped cream. So they literally served wrath right as as Brad Pitt was looking in the box. So literally like 2 minutes before the movie ended, they served us wrath. So, which I mean was probably the most appropriate time to get it, and that was fun. They gave us the list of the courses as you were exiting the theater, because the host said, "Oh, before the movie started, like if you're interested and knowing what exactly you're eating, they're going to be giving out the course list as you exit the theater today. But as far as during the movie, you don't know what you're going to get. So, they just said, well, enjoy. And it was pretty good, I got to say. Some of the stuff maybe a little better than others, but it was definitely an experience. And I kind of like how they tied the whole Seven Deadly Sins thing to the meal. And it was definitely, again, a unique experience that I would definitely recommend to anybody. I think there's a couple of Alamos that do this, mostly in Texas. This is the first time they brought it to the Brooklyn location. So this was, I don't know if they're going to ever do it again. But if you're ever lucky enough to catch something like this at an Alamo Drafthouse near you, I would definitely check that out.
I don't know, man. Like, 2 of those things sounded good. The rest of it, not so much.
Yeah, it's very, very, I don't want to say like pretentious food, but it kind of, just by the names, it kind of came off that way. But I see where you're coming from. But overall, like I said, it was a pretty good meal. So after 7, where's my list here? So after 7, I did Phantom Thread there at 70 millimeter, which was pretty awesome. We talked about Phantom Thread on Force Perspective a couple weeks back. I did Howard the Duck.
Oh my God. You never told me you saw. I know you were planning on seeing it, but you never told me what you thought about it. What did you think of Howard the freaking Duck?
I don't know, man.
It's terrible, dude.
I don't know.
It's a horrible movie.
Well, I mean, just on surface level, looking at it technically, yeah, it's a horrible movie, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, I found it oddly entertainingly creepy. Let's call it that. I found it oddly entertainingly creepy because there's a lot of innuendo there that I don't know what the hell George Lucas was thinking.
Poor Leah Thompson. Like the year
bro.
The year before, she has to hit on her son, and then in this movie, she has to hit on a duck.
She's hitting on a duck, bro. You know what it is? It's so weird. The first half, I was pretty into it, like the first half of the movie, and then when it got ridiculous after like the after when they were trying to send them home and like the thing explodes, and then our boy, oh God, what's the actor's name? The guy from the guy, not Tim. Well, Tim Robbins was wacky too, but the
Jeffrey
guy
Jones
from Ferris Bueller. There you go. Yeah, when he got wacky, bro. That's when I was like, what the hell am I watching? And it was just, oh man, that's when it got bad for me. But like the first half was pretty watchable. I'll freely admit that anywhere. That first half of this movie was pretty watchable. Then when you got to that part onward, that's when it got too ridiculous for me. But it was. But I mean, I'm glad I was with an audience that got it, and they knew what they were in for, and it was 70 millimeter, bro. Like,
you need to see all 70 glorious millimeters of that movie.
That's right, and it's funny because I believe they used the I don't know if it ever got a 70 millimeter release in the States. But I think it got 70 millimeter over in the UK, because I remember the first thing I saw as they rolled the film was kind of like that whole, I don't know, sometimes you see this, like when you go to to retro screenings, you'll see like the stats of the film, like, let's just say Howard the Duck, 1980, whatever, and like all the stats, before the movie starts. So when that film started rolling, it said Howard, a New Breed of Hero, which is the UK title. So I was like, holy crap, this is the UK like film, the UK film version. So I was like, did the UK only get 70 millimeter? Because this isn't something that probably the States got if it had the UK title on it.
I never went that deep into the trivia of Howard. I could sing you the title song though. I'm not going to do that.
Oh no, let's not do that. But it said Howard, a New Breed of Hero as the title. I was like, that's interesting. But anyway, so that was that. I went to an advanced screening of Annihilation there. That's where I saw Annihilation at Alamo, and that was, I mean, we talked about that last episode on Force Perspective. So we got really deep into that one. I know you were a big fan of that movie.
I love that movie.
Damn right. Big Trouble in Little China. I saw that. When was that? This was the. Let me see, the 26th of February. So about a month ago. I was there for Big Trouble. First time I'd seen it in a long time. But It was just as fun as I remember. I mean, freaking Kurt Russell, Kurt Russell being Kurt Russell, bro. I mean, he John Wayne'd it up a little bit, like he tends to do in some of these movies. But it just came out really wacky. This is the stuff that I love, man. Just whack. You be wacky, and I'll have a great time.
But he was like totally self-aware in that movie, though. Like, from
exactly.
what I remember, it's been a while since I watched it, but like, because he's totally a goof in that movie. Like, he's a screw up, right? Because because doesn't he have like a buddy that does a lot of karate and stuff around him?
Yes.
And like, he's actually the one that does a lot of the work.
Yes, and think Carpenter did it on purpose, to kind of be a parody of like the macho action films. Kurt Russell's supposed to be like the prototypical action hero, and yet he's like a bumbling idiot that keeps getting hit with with the freaking ceiling parts and like getting run into people. It's like I love that aspect of it. Like he's the prototypical macho action hero, and here he is like everybody else around him is more competent than he is. So I love that aspect of it. But it's a great film. Anybody who hasn't checked it out, so definitely check out Big Trouble in Little China. I saw Heathers. We talked more about Heathers on Forced Perspective. So if you want to check out that discussion, go to, I believe it was episode 106. We talked about Heathers when we did the Oscar recap. Because I saw it on the night of the Oscars. That's when they happened to be showing it. For those who didn't know, haven't heard that episode yet. They showed it Oscar night. So I had a choice. Either, come back from the showcase, sleep, and watch the Oscars, or come back from the showcase, sleep, and go back to New York for the Heather screening, which, of course, knowing me, because I'm a crazy idiot, I did the latter. And if you want more on that discussion, definitely check out Forced Perspective. We get a little bit into Heathers as well. And then the last thing I went to was the Big Lebowski, which I sent you some pictures of that a couple days ago. That was just this past Monday as of this recording, so that was fun.
This is what happens when you French a stranger in the Alps.
Oh God. I've never seen the TV edit, and when
so
you told
funny.
me that was the line, I'm like, ugh. I started laughing, bro.
I mean, it's the only more ridiculous thing than Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Oh, that's good. Or what about this sounds like a great big pineapple great big chicken just waiting to get plucked, bro. Remember that one?
Oh, and I'm sick of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday plane.
Where'd you get that scar? Some guy eating pineapple?
Oh, jeez.
Which I'm going to talk about in a minute, by the way. But so yeah, Big Lebowski. So let me tell you about that a little bit, because I haven't talked to you since that screening. So I sent you a couple pictures. They did what's called a movie party. Now, Alamo Drafthouse is kind of known for the movie parties where they'll give you props or they'll give you like little things to do during the movie. It's very interactive. And what they did for Big Lebowski was actually I have a funny story to share about this too. So what they did for Big Lebowski was the first thing is they gave out the drink special. There was only one drink special, and it was called the Caucasian, which is what the dude drinks in the movie. It's vodka, Kahlua, and cream.
I thought he had white Russians.
Well, it's a white. Technically, it is a white Russian, but they just call it the Caucasian.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of those things where, like, for example, when I went to see Clockwork Orange and they had Milk Plus as the drink special, it was kind of cool to be able to drink what he's drinking in the movie. So I kind of got a kick out of that. I love interactive stuff like that. And then the props for this movie party were a purple glow stick, which we were required to wave in the air anytime the dude either passes out or gets knocked out. And he has those wacky hallucinations, which was awesome. The first time it happened when they knocked him out for the rug and he started flying with the bowling ball, bro. Everybody had the glow sticks up, and I wish I could have taken a picture of it because it was a great visual. It was so awesome, They had an inflatable crowbar, and it says here, to show your neighbor just what happens when you mistreat a stranger. So when that part came out with our boy John Goodman whacking that car, bro, everybody got their little crowbars, which I guess they had inflated at some point beforehand, and started whacking like their guest with it, like the person they came with. It was pretty awesome, bro. That's something else I wish I could have recorded, because it was weird seeing these people just go nuts with this crowbar. And then the last thing was just a bowling pin keychain. It says a keepsake that abides. So it's just literally a bowling ball, a bowling pin keychain with the Alamo Drafthouse logo on it, which is a pretty cool little souvenir. So as we're entering the theater, this guy's in the front. He ended up being the host of the party, and he's giving out these little raffle pieces of paper. We're supposed to put in our name and our email, and apparently there's going to be a giveaway of some sort. So we find out that the giveaway is for, I believe, Pendleton, which Pendleton, I believe, was the company that originally made the dude's sweater in the movie. And Pendleton, to celebrate the screening, was giving away an actual replica of the dude's sweater from the Big Lebowski. And I won it.
No way.
I fucking won it, bro. So
wait, you have that? You have the sweater?
Okay, so here's the caveat on that. They called my name, right? And I everybody was clapping. I started going down to the stage or to the screen, whatever. And as I get halfway there, the guy goes like, "Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I don't actually have the sweater with me. I meant to say that earlier, but with all the shit I had to say, I completely forgot. So I have your information. Your Pendleton's going to get in touch with you via email, and they're going to send you the sweater. So congratulations, Mark. And let's give a round of applause for Mark."
Oh, so did they get in touch with you yet?
No.
Oh.
So when I go there, I'm going back Saturday, and I'm gonna talk to them, see if maybe they forgot, or I don't know, maybe they couldn't read my handwriting. But it's like, hopefully they don't screw me out of this sweater now. But we'll see. But if anything, I'll contact Pendleton themselves. Just contact us and be like, "Bro, where's my sweater?" But if you don't believe me, if you want, I'll send you the video. I have it all on video because I was recording the whole pre-festivities thing, and as they called my name, the video abruptly cuts off because it's like, holy shit, I won. And but I'll send you that video later if you want. You can see it, but it was pretty awesome.
Cool, that's awesome, man. You're gonna need to take a picture in that sweater too, by the way.
Oh, when I oh, you kidding, bro? That's gonna be my Halloween costume this year if I actually ever get it. So, but that was a Big Lebowski. That was such a fun night. Probably the best night I've had at Alamo in a long time. Probably since my first time there, because the movie is such a quotable classic. Great performances. It's just a legendary film today, and to see everybody love it and enjoy it just as much as I do. It was great to be amongst the dude fans, and it just made the whole experience better.
Well, if you do use it as a Halloween costume, you can't go as a dude because since you're Hispanic, you have to be El Duderino.
Oh, that's right, El Duderino. That's right, bro. Bro, how many alphas are in this movie, bro? John Goodman, the angriest man in America. Steve Buscemi. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. And our boy John Turturro, who had like 6 lines in the movie and made them all legendary, bro. You don't mess with the Jesus. Did you hear about the spin-off movie he's doing?
Yeah, I have heard of it. Like, is it still happening? Like,
it's been filmed already, so it must be happening either this year, next year, or whatever. But
okay,
but it's been filmed, so
yeah. I'm the TCM Classics that is where they're those Fandango events. They're gonna do Big Lebowski at some point this year. It's one of I forget which month it is, but that's gonna be one of the months this year coming up. But speaking of, that's what I've been up to as far as going to any special screening. Now I don't have a fancy Alamo Drafthouse. I have to go to like my regular old AMC. Actually, I don't even think it's an AMC. I think might be a Carmike. I don't know what it is. No, it's a Century. It's a Century. So I've been going with the TCM Backlot Club to these to some of these screenings. Like, so in January there was the Treasure of the Sierra Madre, which is really good. Last month I think it was the Philadelphia Story, which was pretty.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, bro.
Which was pretty packed, and it got a lot of laughs. So like the comedy still worked for that one.
Yeah, that's on my criterion. That's on my Criterion buy list whenever the next sale happens.
Oh yeah. And then just this past Sunday was Vertigo, which we did on the show.
I saw the previews for that. I almost went to that, but I was like, I mean, I just couldn't fit it into my schedule, but I almost did that.
Yeah, so we did Vertigo, and it's funny because it's when you're watching Vertigo by yourself, it's one thing, right? But whatever you get like really into the kind of the last third of the film where Jimmy Stewart's character is completely obsessed, and he's like basically having making Kim Novak change her clothes and her appearance and stuff. And like at one point, he's like, "Your hair, it can't matter that much to you. Change your hair." And it's like where he just full on creep. It's so funny to kind of watch the reactions of the audience. That either haven't seen it before or maybe or whatever, because it just comes off so creepy that he's asking this woman to change her complete appearance, even though it's really her anyway. But spoilers. But yeah, it was a fun movie to watch with an audience, and it was almost full too for Vertigo, which I was pretty happy to see.
That's good.
Next month is what is next month? Oh, next month is Grease, which is I'm gonna go see, but I'm not a big fan of Grease.
Oh, I love that movie, bro.
I haven't seen Grease.
I love that movie.
I haven't seen Grease since maybe high school. So it's been like 20 years. So it's probably time to give it another shot. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What I'm concerned about is going to be there might be a lot of like hardcore fans there like singing along, and that's going to bug me.
Well, if it's not a sing along or a quote along like they do in Alamo Drafthouse, then you need to tell them to shut the fuck up, like our boy John Goodman did to Steve Buscemi. So, as far as I'm concerned, I mean I may do the Grease screening now that you mentioned it. If it's going to be at one of those Fathom event things, yeah, I might actually do that. I did pre-order because I'm a sucker. I did pre-order the steelbook of that's coming out for Grease because but here's the thing, bro. Because I'm a sucker for steelbooks. We've established this, for the past 2 years, I think, on Force Perspective. I'm a sucker for steelbooks, number one, and number two, I mean, especially a steelbook that's unique. For example, this is in the shape of a locker that actually opens in the middle a locker. So it's pretty awesome. So it has the first Grease, the second Grease 2, which I'm only getting for laughs because that movie is so ridiculous. I'm not going to get into it here, but it's one of those so unnecessary sequels that has barely anything to do with the first one. And then they have, for some inexplicable reason, they've included the Grease live special from like 2 years ago from Fox, which is horrible. Oh,
okay.
But I mean, whatever, bro. I think it was like $20 for all three. So like, okay, you know what? A steelbook, you get Grease again, the classic, and then 2 extra movies, which I probably will never watch, but they're there. Sign me up. So I pre-ordered that from Amazon. I think it's like $25, and then but I might do that. And then what I have coming up, actually, as of this recording, I'm actually going Saturday. We're recording this on a Thursday night. I'm going on Saturday back to Alamo to see Isle of Dogs, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait for that.
Okay, yeah.
And then Sunday, this is the big one, Sunday. So I've never seen what's this movie called? The Long Goodbye, Robert Altman. I've never seen that
great movie.
I've never seen it with our boy Elliot Gould, bro.
Oh my God, it's such a good movie.
So they're doing a weird, I want to say weird, but they're doing kind of a unique thing with this. So it's called an LA Noir double feature. So the first movie is The Long Goodbye. And then afterwards, they're doing a special advanced screening of the movie Gemini, which I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that movie.
I don't know it, no.
It's well, look at. I'll send you the link after we finish up here. But they're doing a special advanced screening of Gemini, and then I think the director of Gemini is going to be there to do a Q&A afterwards. But they're kind of doing a whole LA Noir theme night. So they're doing Long Goodbye first, then an intermission, and then they're going to show Gemini. So that's going to be pretty cool. I've never seen Long Goodbye. I've heard great things about it. I mean, it's Robert Altman, of course. So I can't wait to experience that for the first time. And then I'll get to see Gemini, which I've seen the trailer a few times already. It looks interesting. It's a very California, very noirsy murder mystery, it looks like. So it's
and Elliot Gould is not like he doesn't play it like he's not like Bogart in this or anything. He's more schlubby in this.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's really, really good. It has a really good ending. I'm not going to spoil it, but it has a really good ending.
Oh, I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. I mean, I'm more going for Long Goodbye than for Gemini because I mean I'm going to I'm glad I'm seeing Gemini early because I would like to do like a review for it for the show. But I mean, The Long Goodbye was my draw for this because I've always wanted to see that movie.
And bit of trivia, I believe it has the first appearance on film of Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nice. That's
he's
that's
in a
wacky.
cameo. In a cameo, I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say first appearance in film because Pumping Iron may have been before this. I don't think it was, but I mean, when I mean first appearance, I mean as like an actor. And it's like a bit part. He's like in like one scene as like a thug. I don't even think he speaks because it's been a while since I've seen it. I don't think he speaks, but yeah, he pops up for like a hot minute in that movie.
Nice.
I think he's got a mustache too.
Him.
I think he's got a mustache. If remember recalls, I think he has a mustache.
I'll be sure to look out for him, bro. But that's all I have coming up at Alamo. Oh, how could I forget? There's one screening additional screening that I went to, and I didn't see it on my list because my uncle bought the tickets, not me. So I did. So Alamo every week does something called Terror Tuesday, which Tuesday nights they always show like these really obscure or very like underground horror movies, right? And the one I went to was. Have you heard of Adolfo?
Yes, I have. I've never seen it, but it looked terrible.
And remember, on the poster it says, "Don't say it, sound it," or whatever the poster says. But no, it says you don't say it, hiss it. So, because or else if you're just saying S S S S S, that's the title. S S S S S. So, that was something. It made enough of an impression on me that I bought the Blu-ray like the day after the screening. It was like $15 on Amazon. So I was like, why not? It was restored by Shout Factory, I think. So
yeah, it's like a Shout Factory release.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I'm definitely gonna start showing this to people whenever I invite people over for like just random bullshit. I'm like, hey, you want to watch? And they're like, are you okay? Because I told this to my coworker that night when I was going, because she goes, "What are you seeing tonight?" I'm like, she goes, "Are you okay? Like, what are you?" That's the name of the movie. And then I showed her the poster. She's like, "Oh, I never heard of that." I'm like, "No, I don't expect you to."
No, that's a weird one. I've never seen it, but I know it by reputation. What did you think of it?
It was interesting. It's you know what? I gotta say that movie was better acted than it had any right to be. Like the acting was surprisingly good. You know, like with these movies, you can tell like when they're not trying, they know they're in a shitty movie. They just don't even try. They were trying here, and it was I actually got sucked into the story pretty well. So props to the actors. I don't know who any of them are, but props to all of them for at least trying to give a great performance, and it worked because it got me really into the story. And I mean, the special effects were terrible, obviously, because we're talking about the 70s here. For some of the with the kind of elaborate story they're trying to tell, it really came off very let's just say cheap. Just say cheap. I can't really think of anything else.
I mean, the 70s they had like this whole like animals attack phase of horror movies. So like that was snakes, right? And then there was Ben, which was rats.
Yes. Not to cut you off, but I got trailers during the pre-show for like wacky animal attack movies. So I got Devil Dog, The Hound from Hell was a trailer I got. The Pack, the original one from the 70s, 1977. Eye of the Cat from 1969. The Uncanny from 1977 as well.
What's the Uncanny about?
Uncanny is about cats.
Okay.
Killer cats. And then finally, bro, which I did not know existed, but my uncle marked out when he saw this trailer, and you might mark out too for all the wrong reasons. I got a trailer for The Birds 2: Land's End.
I did not know they had a Birds 2.
I think it was a Showtime original movie from like 1995 or something.
Oh my god.
The Birds 2, bro.
They should have put in Phase 4, which is a movie about killer ants.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I've heard of that.
It's actually played straight. It's not a silly movie. Like it's actually pretty good.
No. Oh god. Wait a minute. Okay. So not to cut you off again, but it's just this is all just coming back to me now. So we got those trailers, right? Then we got the regular Alamo trailers. And then usually with the really old screenings, before the movie actually starts, you get 2 additional like really retro trailers. The first one was for Phase 4.
Oh, okay.
So you were right on the money there with like kind of like their way of thinking. And the second trailer was for Of Unknown Origin.
I don't know that one. What's that one about?
Let me go to good old Wikipedia. I forgot who it was. Somebody famous made this Of Unknown Origin. Let me see. It stars our boy Peter Weller. That's one thing.
Okay.
It's directed by George P. Cosmatos. I don't know.
Oh, yes, I know that guy. He's he's a the only movie I can think of that comes to mind that he did was Cobra with Stallone in the 80s, and it's not
good. but RoboCop's in it, so so we got those 2 trailers, and then the movie started. But that was fun. I'd never done a Terror Tuesday before because I've always wanted to do some of these old screenings. Like they do like some really like kind of undergroundy stuff like Piranha, and then they'll do something I never heard of like Shakma, which is about like a baboon that starts killing people. So it's they're doing what's this guy's name? Who's the guy? Have you ever seen Basket Case?
I know Basket Case. I've never seen it.
The director, what's the guy's name? It's Frank Henenlotter. So they're doing a retrospective of him the rest of the month for March into April, and like they're showing all of his movies. Like they're doing Basket Case 1, 2, 3. They're doing Frankenhooker. They're doing what's that other movie called? It's on top of my Brain Damage. They're doing Brain Damage.
Oh,
and
Brain Damage.
Yeah.
I've seen. Brain Damage is messed up. Do you know what Brain Damage is about?
No.
It's about. Oh man, I saw this when I was literally 9 years old, 9 or 10 years old. So this is gonna stretch my memory a bit. But from what I remember, it's about this little alien that looks like a brain, and it attaches itself to some guy's like brainstem, and then it like makes him commit all sorts of like crazy things. And if I remember correctly, like the little brain monster is like a puppet. It's all like slimy and stuff. It's really wacky. I'm sure there's a trailer you can look up for it. But from what I remember seeing it and thinking it was like way too weird for me at like 10 years old.
Why are you watching that at 10 years old is what I want to know.
I don't know. I think it was one of those, I was up late and it came on Showtime or Cinemax or one of those channels, and I just started watching it, and there you go. It was definitely like a late night movie on one of those channels. It is a messed up film.
Now you make me want to see it. Okay, so when is the screening so Brain Damage is Wednesday night, April 11th. And there's still a good amount of seats left. So now you're making me want to watch it. I'll tell you that right now.
I would go just for the weirdness of it.
Yeah, I think I was the one I was leaning towards because I wanted to do at least one of these screenings. Basket Case is like the famous one. I actually have the 4K restoration of Basket Case that Arrow Video put out. I think 2 weeks ago they put it out on Blu-ray. So I picked that up because Basket Case is such a famous cult movie. So I like those movies like Basket Case, Pieces, Cannibal Holocaust. What's the other one that I have? Cat in the Brain. I like to own those because those are like famous cult movies. Even though I may only watch them once, never watch them again. I just like to have it because I'm just that kind of collector, So I'm skipping that screening, but I was leaning towards Frankenhooker, and I'm not sure if I want to do that anymore because you kind of just convinced me on Brain Damage.
Try and find the trailer and see if it appeals to you. But man, all those titles, it just reminded me of the VHS section in the horror section in the VHS rental stores like Blockbuster and stuff. I mean, that's just pure 80s trash, all that stuff. And I mean that in an endearing way. It's pure 80s trash.
Well, speaking of 80s trash, you know what they're also showing next week? Which I almost thought about going to, but then ended up getting sold out. The Garbage Pail Kids movie.
No, don't see it. No. There's fun bad movies, and then there's like make it stop bad movies. This is a make it stop bad movie. Seriously, never watch that. Never watch it.
No, I think you're convincing me now. Otherwise, in the other direction.
I mean this with utmost sincerity. Never watch that movie. It is the worst. It is probably in like my top 5 worst things I've ever seen in my life.
And Shout Factory did a Blu-ray for this, bro.
I know, I get it. I understand it has a cult following, but no, that movie is. I mean, and I know, it's Garbage Kill Kids. You're not supposed to take it seriously. No. That's not why it's bad. It's bad because it's incompetently made. It's creepy as shit, and it's just not entertaining at all. It's so boring and horrible. No. Stay away from it.
So let me tell you about there's 2 other screenings they're doing. Have you ever heard of a movie called Secret Agent 00 Soul with Billy D. Williams?
No, but that sounds amazing.
It's right. Let me read the description, bro, because this is wacky. It says, "This is the greatest and only movie ever made by Billy D. Williams' stunt double in Return of the Jedi. After making history with his role as Harvey Dent in Tim Burton's Batman, Billy D. Williams made history again by starring as Secret Agent 00 Soul in Secret Agent 00 Soul. We'd love to share the plot of this miracle of a movie, but since we still haven't figured it out yet, know this. Secret Agent 00 Soul drops somewhere between Dolomite and Airplane and features a scene where mummies rap in a haunted house. There are also people falling down, stuff blowing up, and Williams wearing a Dracula cape while arguing with his 7-foot-tall son, who is a hobo and a lawyer. Deny reality and embrace this movie." So I may do this one too, bro. There's so much shit. And the poster, bro. The poster looks so photoshopped with Billy D. Williams holding a squirt gun with 2 ladies next to him, bro.
That sounds...
I'm marking out for this already.
That sounds interesting.
And they're also they're showing Pumping Iron 2, The Women, also. Which I didn't know existed. I knew about Pumping Iron because you just mentioned it, but they're showing Pumping Iron 2, The Women, which I guess is about female bodybuilders. So that's another screen. Bro, Secret Agent 00 Soul, bro.
Wow.
Oh, man. I love this place.
I'm looking it up on IMDb here. It is rocking a 2.8.
But Billy D. Williams, bro.
Oh, Zeus is in it. Tiny Lister.
Yes. The only other person that make me buy a ticket, Billy D. Williams, would be Tiny Lister, bro.
Wow.
Wait till I tell Draven about this. He probably already knows about it, knowing him. Oh, man. What is the other one I wanted to tell you about before I get to my main one? Right here. Real quick. They're also doing a special screening of Best Friends Volume 1. Now, have you heard of Best Friends?
This is the Tommy Wiseau one, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They're doing a special screening of Best Friends. Apparently, there's going to be, it's a 2-parter. Like, they're doing like Kill Bill, which is very Tommy Wiseau to copy that. So it's Best Friends Volume 1, and Greg Sestero is going to be there live and going to sign autographs afterwards. I'd be so going to this, right? The problem is that it's on my sister's birthday that night, and she would never forgive me if I went to see Greg Sestero on her birthday. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not like it was like The Rock or somebody like that, or somebody that she would care about. It's Greg Sestero. It's not even Dave Franco. It's the real Greg Sestero, who doesn't have as much name value as Dave Franco does. So yeah, she would never forgive me. So unfortunately, I have to skip that. But that's what's coming up at Alamo Drafthouse in the near future in Brooklyn. So shout out to those guys for always making me feel like a kid again every time I go there. So, I guess before we move on to what we're supposed to talk about, I mentioned this to you, and I pretty much marked out like a freaking I don't know what you would call it. I don't know, like a freaking wrestling mark, I guess. From finding out about Daniel Bryan coming back to wrestling. Tribeca Film Festival. I think we talked about this. We talked about this last year about how I went to I did the Reservoir Dogs screening last year with Quentin Tarantino there in person and the cast reunion. And I did the Godfather screening. It was Godfather 1 and 2 with the reunion afterwards with De Niro, Pacino, Diane Keaton. They were all there. Coppola was there.
Didn't you do Taxi Driver too?
I did, but that was 2 years ago actually.
Oh, okay. That's
so 2 years ago
already? Wow.
Yeah, I did Taxi. So De Niro was there, Jodie Foster was there, our boy Harvey Keitel was there. It was a good time. Then last year was Reservoir Dogs and Godfathers 1 and 2, or as they call it, the Godfather Saga. And then because nobody thinks about 3 anymore, 3 does not exist. And this year they're doing Schindler's List and Senor Spielbergo, and Liam Neeson will be there. And 35 years, bro. That makes me feel old considering I'm not even 35 yet. But 35th anniversary of my favorite movie, Scarface, with De Palma, Pacino, and Michelle Pfeiffer there in person. So I'm going to be marking out that entire night. I'm going to be quoting that movie the entire night. And I mean, it's my favorite fucking movie. So I'm going to have a good time. And bro, I know you're like probably rolling your eyes right now, but it's like, bro, just imagine if they did like a 80th anniversary screening of Casablanca and both Bogart and Bergman were there. That's what it would be like for you. So,
well, that'd be a little scary because they're both dead.
Exactly.
Like they're zombies.
But in some parallel universe where they're still alive.
Yeah.
And they were doing that. That's what it'd be like for you. So
no, man. Hey, go for it, man. Sounds fun. Wait, is De Palma gonna be there? You said?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
But that's what's coming up. April 19th, I believe, is the screening. And I'm sure the press is going to be covering it because Variety and Deadline already did articles about the Scarface screening. So I'm sure there's going to be articles about that afterwards. So it's going to just like with The Godfather. But yeah, that's what's coming up for me screening-wise.
And when
New York
Scarface?
and elsewhere. What's that?
When's Scarface?
April 19th.
Okay. Interesting. Cool.
But yeah, but that's what's coming up for me. I know. See, my updates when we take this always take like we're almost an hour into this already. We just talked about retro screenings and shit and brain damage and Secret Agent 00 Soul.
No, you gotta look up a trailer for Brain Damage. It's wacky. It is a wacky movie.
Will do, man.